how crazy they were. He said, okay, I'm going to start doing it too. I'm going to be just as crazy as everybody else. Been working for him.
Very well. Here comes Edwards. Got to run. Looking for second place. Look at the hands inside that 99 car. Fighting for control into the corner.
All clear. Go get the 14 now.
Edwards the second. But he's got to track down Stewart. Remember, the tiebreaker belongs to Tony. Keselowski's not done with this yet.
Don't think he's got anything for him. It's down to these two to settle it. Winner take all.
And in this situation, you see Tony Stewart, if he gets this win, we heard the fans say that they wanted winning to mean more. There's no win would ever mean more than this one right here for Tony Stewart.
Still a long way to go. Just under 50 miles left in this race on this mile-and-a-half track. First and second, the top two. With some weather threatening out there on the radar. Will there be another caution back in the pack?
Right now, Tony Stewart's beating Carl Edwards a tenth or so, tenth and a half.
Well, neither one are holding back. They know they have enough fuel, so they're giving it everything they have right now. Carl Edwards has been really strong at the end of these runs, though.
You remember back at Kansas a few years ago, Carl Edwards making that big dive bomb on Jimmy Johnson? It ain't over till it's over.
That's right. May take that here tonight.
Well, earlier this week in the press conference here on Thursday, Tony Stewart said he'd wreck his mother for a championship. Carl Edwards said, I'll race him like he races me. At least I know where I stand. So if Carl can catch him, who knows?
Well, Carl ran a faster lap last lap.
But they are the two fastest cars on the track. That may seem obvious being out first and second, but there's nobody behind them that's close to what they're running. Speaking of close, Carl Edwards was close to the wall right there.
Got to let it all go, right? He knows he's got to be ahead of Stewart.
There is no tomorrow. This is it.
Stewart knows he's got to keep Edwards behind him. Look at that smoke boiling from behind that 99 car.
Well, he's up in a danger zone right there.
If he can get away with it, he can clean the track off and maybe find a little grip up there.
Man, look how close Carl Edwards is.
Moving around the racetrack, hunting for any place his car might have a little more grip and find that distance closed on Stewart.
Now, Stewart was a little bit quicker on that lap. I think Carl might have got a little closer than he needs to be to the wall right there.
Gave a little more respect that lap.
There it is.
Back at you, shoot him.
It's a live interval you see between the two. And Carl closes it up to the middle of the corner.
Yeah, this is really about as high as we've seen Tony Stewart. He had been given the wall a lane and a half most of the night. He's up there much closer than what we've seen him, but it's translating into speed for him right now. Fastest once again.
Just by hundredths of a second of a car.
Steady hands on the wheel of that 14 car through that set of corners.
I can imagine the kind of focus and intensity it takes to race like they're racing right now, Dale.
It's just incredible. I mean, the two best drivers in the series right now, able to take these conditions, the pressures that go along with it, and get the most out of the car right now. It's just incredible. It's intense in there, but this is what these two drivers do and do it well.
The gap growing fractionally, now shrinking fractionally.
Yeah, Edwards beat him by 2 100ths that time.
Is it easier, Dale, to be in Carl's position right now or Tony's?
It's always tough to lead out there. You like that idea of being out front and controlling things. And if you've got a good car and Tony is confident as he can be in his car right now, then you think that you can apply pressure and make that guy in second make a mistake trying to catch you.
Just thinking back earlier in the race when they kind of warned Carl Edwards to take it a little easy on his right front at that time of the race. Well, he can't take it easy now.
Nope, he's got to give it all he's got and hope that thing holds out.
And I really think that we probably got enough rubber down. That last shower didn't do anything to hurt the racetrack in that respect. So I think that you're seeing everything that Carl Edwards has in this Ford right now.
Stewart's team told him they were good to the finish on fuel. Edwards' team has told him that as well. The laps run under the caution for the rain, helping out both parties.
Almost a tenth of a second difference in the lap times that last time. You can see that Tony's able to turn his car down to get a little straighter shot off the corner. That's translating into a little speed for him.
Tony Stewart said we've had to fight and fight to get every point we can in this championship. I think that makes it more gratifying. Also said we've got everything to gain, nothing to lose, and in this last race that makes us dangerous.
Yes, and he's left it all on the track today and tonight. It's incredible the amount of, just the intensity and the performance I've seen from Tony Stewart personally as a driver. I mean, the car's there. It's definitely, they're doing a good job with that, but Tony Stewart has been incredible tonight.
See that gap between the two staying pretty steady right now. It's only 100th or 200th of a difference between these two each and every lap.
Again, perspective. Edwards must pass Stewart to win the championship. If Stewart stays in front of him, Tony's the champ on the tiebreaker. Most wins.
You can see up there, the points are tied right now. It's just plain and simple.
And nobody on the track is faster than these two cars.
Lap after lap. Every
lap.
one of these laps, they've been the top two.
And Brad Keselowski is already 4 seconds back in third to the leader, Tony Stewart.
Oh, look at Stewart drive the thing off the corner. You could see his hands really moving as he was chasing the back end that lap.
Stewart has been so loose, so seemingly easygoing in the week leading up to this race.
You see the two crew chiefs up there. Nothing they can do right now. Only thing they can do at this point is plan for that caution that may come out and have a good strategy for what they're going to do. Otherwise, they just watch these drivers do what they do.
And again, that strategy complicated by the fact that there's 27 cars on the lead lap. And those other 26 want to win.
They're trying to pick it up.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they want to win. They just don't have anything for these two right now.
Well, just talk if the caution comes out, you see some strategy and that kind of thing, But without question, the clash of the field this fall have been Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards.
Yeah, they've gone about getting here a little bit differently. Carl Edwards extremely consistent, but consistently good. Not a finish below 11th place in the first 9 races. Not going to have that here tonight. It doesn't look like either. Tony Stewart, a little different approach. 1-4 so far. Could be on the way to the 5th. Winning those races you can make up for a bad race or two along the way. You can see tied into points right now.
There's another streak that's on the line. Hendrick Motorsports and their engines and chassis have won the last 6 championships, or last 5 championships. If Tony wins tonight, it'll be 6 in a row for Hendrick Motorsports. They're the ones that provide the cars and engines for Tony Stewart.
Started to talk about opposite personalities before. Tony Stewart, what you see is what you get. If he's not happy, he'll tell you. He wants to drive race cars. He wants to drive them fast. He wants to win races. And really could probably care less about all the other trappings of the business. Carl Edwards really good at some of those other trappings, the media, the interviews, the sponsor obligations, and so on. Carl has shown his edge at times, both behind the wheel and to his competitors.
But yeah, that's one thing Carl likes. He likes that part of the sport. Or like Tony Stewart, he did, like you said, he could care less about that. He just wants to race.
Yeah, and he's had to do more of that now, being an owner. So trying to win this championship for himself, but being an owner of this team hasn't happened since Alan Kulwicki in 1992. So I think that means a lot to him here. But this is Tony Stewart, the race driver, getting it done in his element right now.
Tony Stewart with 11 driving titles in various forms of racing. A 2-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champ, looking to join that very elite club of 3-time champions if he can run out these final 16 laps. And again, that's a long time. Good 15 minutes or so if we stay on the green.
Yeah, one little mistake by Tony, and he's going to give a championship away. Just to me, that's a lot of pressure on a driver. I know you guys can handle it, but that just seems like a ton of pressure.
That's what makes these two so good. We've seen them run right there at the wall. not a slip. You know, I think Carl Edwards may would tell you his car is as good as he can make it right now. .5 seconds between first and second. Stewart edging away ever so slightly. The final laps of the 2011 season, and a tremendous fight for the championship between Tony Stewart driving that 14 car and Carl Edwards in the 99. It's come down to the two of them running first and second in this race. Whichever driver wins the race will be the champion. Stewart coming back from as far as 40th in the race earlier today with damage to the nose of his car. Each time he got back to the front of the pack, something set him back. Problems on pit road. Then they chose a different strategy that set him back, but a timely caution regained him his spot toward the front of the field. He's driven like a man possessed on restarts to get back to the point. And now, despite Edwards' best efforts, Edwards having led the most laps in this race tonight, he finds himself that far behind his rival for the title in the final laps. He's got to find a way. He needs a caution.
89 to a 94, but I know you're doing all you can here, but we need that position, buddy.
Yeah, they know that. And, you know, one thing I'll throw out here is we heard Bob Osborne say that Carl was good on fuel by 2 laps, but he hasn't had to run this car as hard as he's run this run. And I'm not positive that he can make this.
How about even Tony Stewart? And I know that they pretty sure that they have estimated this and calculated it right. But this is hard. Either one of them have driven tonight in trying to make all of this happen. So you're not sure. There are no gas gauges in there. You're not going to know until it sputters.
Now, they've made their calculations based on what they've done throughout the race. But this run right here, they have run extremely hard.
While you watch this fight for the lead, Brad Keselowski makes a late pit stop in the 2.
Edwards has been a little bit quicker. He picked up almost 2/10 that last lap. You can see the interval was cut down a little bit.
But the laps are running out. Leaders beginning to encounter some lap traffic.
You see how dynamic that gap is just as they run through the corner. Carl beat him a little bit through one part of the track. Tony kind of went out on the other side.
As hard as we've seen Tony at times carry the car off in the corner making passes, this while he's out front, he's been rolling out of the throttles. You can see Carl gain a little bit of time.
10 laps left.
Really hard in the gas on the exit, carrying a lot of speed down the straightaway.
Championship that I feel a lot of folks are going to remember for years is going between two of the best and being one of the best fights for the title. They're running first and second in the last race of the season. Winner is the champion. Whoever finishes second in the race loses out. Can't beat that.
I've never seen anything like it in my career, and I've done this a long time.
9 laps to go. Edwards trying to edge in. He trimmed a little bit more off Stewart's lead that time. He's got to do better because he's got to catch him and then find a way around him.
You can hear he had to lift just a little bit right there, right at the exit of the corner. He was so close to the wall.
And that's a bad place to have to lift because it costs you all that momentum down the straightaway. It could be an advantage for Stewart, but you can see that gap is now down to less than a second.
Lap cars ahead of Stewart in the lane where he and Carl have been running, that outside lane of the racetrack.
Yeah, you have to think that they know what's going on here. They're going to give way, move to the inside.
The spotters are going to be talking to everybody on the roof. The other spotters are trying to get these other cars out of the way so these two can race it out.
Yeah, has Tony run this car too hard being out front? Are his tires going to give up some here?
Another couple of hundredths of a second off that lead as they come to the lap traffic.
We don't see these cars moving out
They're
of the
not.
way.
I don't quite understand the thinking here.
Andy Lally in the 71. 38 car of Travis Quapple. Stewart to their inside.
Tony's made his car work down there. I know that's not where he wanted to be right now. They're giving him plenty of room.
It's actually Mike Bliss in the 71. And he's racing for something too. They're trying to get in the top 35 in points. I understand that, but you got to give these guys more room.
Now Carl has to deal with the traffic.
Yeah, the one thing that can do is you have to change what you've been doing. It can upset your rhythm just a little bit. Now, it didn't take long. It was basically just one and a half corners. See if Tony can get that rhythm back and pull back away. Now Carl's got him running side by side. This is the worst possible position.
Yeah, that might be what kills any chance he has to get up there.
Yeah, that had to break some momentum, but you can see he's still within a second.
Now the gap growing again.
You know what Carl is wanting is he could just get to the rear bump.
5 laps left, 5.
And try to force something here.
Well, it's going to take a mistake by Tony Stewart at this point in time. He's driving this thing on the edge this entire day.
I'm watching the Carl Edwards rotors are glowing red. He's working every pedal in that car. When the corner last lap, you could see the left front rotor was glowing. See it there?
Oh, yeah. This isn't a place that you normally use a lot of brake, but Carl Edwards doing everything he possibly can to bring Tony Stewart down.
Stewart adding to his lead, but more lap traffic ahead. See that flag with the yellow stripe signaling the leaders coming up behind you. A warning flag to the driver, not a mandatory move over flag, but a warning flag. Dave Blaney gives way. So far, the late yellow has not come.
Well, there's one driver that's hoping it doesn't, and another one that hopes he gets that opportunity.
You see the flagman now really waving that flag at these other competitors to let these two race it out.
Montoya, Jeff Bodine yielding to the race leader. And Edwards running out of time.
I tell you, this has been one incredible drive in this chase by Tony Stewart. On his way to a 5th win out of 10 races. And that was only good enough to tie in points as it sits right now.
That's just how good Edwards has been.
Yes.
2 laps to go,
3 miles left to go. Tony Stewart seeking his 3rd championship. Rallying back tonight from as far as 40th position. Kind of had the what me worry attitude earlier in the race.
Yeah, what an incredible job by the crew to repair that, Andy. That's not an easy place to make a change and fix a repair.
Yeah, they've overcome a lot tonight on pit road. They had a mistake, or actually a problem with a pit socket. They had a hole in the grill. But Tony Stewart
White flag here, white flag. Bring it home.
Final lap. Stewart and Edwards, 1st and 2nd. Winner takes the championship.
It's just the most incredible run I've ever seen out of a race car driver, what Tony Stewart has done in this chase and tonight.
Yeah, I think it's the best driving I've ever seen, and Carl Edwards did an incredible job too, but this is the man right here, Tony Stewart.
2002, he was the champion. 2005, he was the champion, those driving for someone else. This time, he's an owner driver, and he's going to become a 3-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion. Tony Stewart wins it.
So we got it. We got it. We got the tiebreaker, baby. Awesome job. Derek. You guys are all.
Good job, Tony.
One for the ages tonight in South Florida. championship. It ended up you had to win the race to win the title. Tony Stewart did just that.
Been around this sport a long
Good
time.
job, Tony. Would have been better if Carl would have won, but good for him, I guess. Well, he deserved it, I guess. He won 4 races in the chase, but it wasn't enough run for Carl. A lap down, 1 lap, 1 second away from winning the championship for Carl Edwards. See you guys next time, next season.